So as you all know, there's so much going on, people could barely fucking keep up. It's the Steve Bannon strategy of flood the zone, do 100 things every single day. The media can't keep up. They can only focus on maybe 2 or 3 things. So you just got away with over 90 things that are horrific, that would be career-ending scandals for any other politician. But for Trump, he's a bull in a china shop. He just keeps going ahead. So as you all know, Trump decided to illegally bomb the Houthis in Yemen. The reason I say it's illegal is because you need a declaration of war from Congress in order to do something like this. He did not get a declaration of war from Congress. He's bombing the Houthis, and it's under the guise of, this is part of the war on terror that was passed in the early 2000s. What? I mean, just to explain to you how dumb that is, the Houthis are a Shia Islamist group. Al-Qaeda is a Sunni fundamentalist group. So they have nothing to do with each other. In fact, the Houthis and Al-Qaeda are mortal enemies. But he's pretending, the same justification that was used to go after the Al-Qaeda, the Sunnis, is the same I'm going to use to go after the Houthis. And by the way, also as if the Houthis are a threat to the American homeland, which is just laughable. There are no, the Houthis attacked Cleveland yesterday. Didn't fucking happen. It's fake. It's fake. It's fake. It's fake. So that's a scandal in and of itself. Then there was a scandal on top of the scandal, which was Signalgate, which was Pete Hegseth and all of Trump's little idiot cabinet buddies, Tulsi Gabbard, J.D. Vance, all these morons, Mike Waltz. They were casually discussing over Signal detailed and intricate bombing plans for Yemen, right? And they were debating, whether or not to do it. J.D. Vance was like, I don't know if this is a good idea. This is really helping those freeloaders in Europe. And then they were like, nah, let's do it. Then they say in the group chat, we bombed this guy who went into his girlfriend's apartment building. We bombed the whole apartment building. And J.D. Vance is like, excellent. Hooray. They're casually discussing war crimes and like high-fiving over that shit. Sending emojis like little fucking teenage girls. So that was the scandal within the scandal, right? Well, guess what? I know this isn't being reported much, but almost every single day since that first bombing, they've been relentlessly bombing Yemen. Remember why they're actually bombing Yemen, too. Remember why they're actually bombing it. Because the Houthis stood up and said, oh my God, Israel is doing a genocide of the Palestinians in Gaza, carpet bombing innocent people. So let's do our part, and our part is let's try to blockade ships from getting into Israel. That's what they say. This is our goal. We don't want ships to get into Israel because they're doing a genocide, and we want to do whatever we can to make them stop, right? That was it. And guess what? When there was a ceasefire, temporary pause, that whole pause, the Houthis stopped. They were like, okay, there's a deal. We'll stop. Second that it went back to the genocide, boom, they kept going again. So Trump's doing this macho man fucking dick-swinging bullshit of, we're going to bomb them, bro. We're going to bomb them, and they're going to stop. We're going to make them stop. We know how to make them stop, you fucking jackass. Stop arming and funding the genocide, dipshit. But no, he wants to do the big macho man swinging dick thing. Mr. I'm anti-war is like, I love war. Now he's loving war. So anyway, they've been bombing like every day since that first bombing. Ready? Here we go. Privately, the Department of Defense admits they have had limited success against the Houthis, despite strikes being larger than what was done under Biden. Quote, and much bigger than what the Department of Defense has publicly described. Costs are $200 million so far and could exceed $1 billion by next week. $1 billion. Ladies and gentlemen, these are the same assholes that cut off pediatric cancer research, which doesn't even cost this much. And they got $1 billion to fucking splurge on bombing innocent people in Yemen. All right, let's go to the article here. President Trump said this week that Iranian-backed Houthi militants in Yemen have been decimated by the relentless strikes that he ordered beginning on March 15th. But that's not what the Pentagon and military officials are privately telling Congress and allied countries. In closed briefings in recent days, Pentagon officials have acknowledged that there has been only limited success in destroying the Houthis' vast, largely underground arsenal of missiles, drones, and launchers, according to congressional aides and allies. The officials briefed on confidential damage assessments say the bombing is consistently heavier than strikes conducted by the Biden administration and much bigger than what the Defense Department has publicly described. The total cost could be well over $1 billion by next week, and the Pentagon might soon need to request supplemental funds from Congress, one U.S. official said. So many precision munitions are being used, especially advanced long-range ones, that some Pentagon contingency planners are growing concerned about overall Navy stocks and implications for any situation in which the U.S. would have to ward off an attempted invasion of Taiwan by China. Let me tell you what that means in layman's terms. hey, dog, we're blowing through this advanced artillery, this advanced arsenal we have, and we're sort of running out of bombs if we might need them in a different scenario. Now, remember, this is the same motherfucker who's saying we're going to invade Greenland. This is the same guy who signed an executive order on day one to legally allow him to invade Mexico without going through Congress. We got Iran's on the chopping block, Mexico's on the chopping block, Greenland's on the chopping block. They're going to try to do another coup in Venezuela. They might send troops to Ecuador because a center-left party might end up winning there. Panama, too, he says he wants to militarily take it. They drew up plans for that. This motherfucker wants war with every goddamn country, and they're blowing through all the bombs anyway on Yemen, where they're having no success. Can we impeach this guy already? For real, man. How many things does somebody have to do? I mean, the number of crimes on a daily basis are through the fucking roof. You have some, like, literally open and closed, slam dunk, black and white ass cases that are right there for the taking, man. You're gonna round up innocent people, no criminal record, ship them off to an El Salvador slave labor camp, and everybody's supposed to just, this is fine. Everybody should be screaming about this from the top of their lungs. They should be dragging his ass in front of the Senate. They should have impeachment hearings, and they should impeach his ass. And even if the Republicans circle the wagons and defend him, we need to be on the record for history's sake, so everybody knows who the fucking good guys were. Okay? This is untenable, what we're talking about here. Motherfucker. The final thing I'll say is this. Have all the fucking assholes out there who pretended like Trump was anti-war, have they apologized yet? I'm just curious. Have any of the fucking assholes who pretended to be left-wingers and then sucked MAGA dick on a regular basis, the Russell Brands of the world, the Jimmy Dores of the world, have any of these people come out and say, you know what? Hey, dog, my bad. My bad. Turns out he was a flagrant warmonger way above and beyond anything we've seen in modern American history. He makes fucking Dick Cheney and George W. Bush look like fucking Noam Chomsky. Have any of them come out and said that? Have any of them come out and said that? I'll fucking wait. Remember who was bullshitting all along. Remember who was lying to you all along and pretending, oh, maybe he will be anti-war because I don't fucking know anything and haven't seen any of the facts that came out of his first term with his foreign policy madness. Just remember, I just want you to remember who was a fucking liar, who was a bullshitter, who was trying to ride a wave of what's popular online in the moment. Remember that. Remember that, because then you know who to never fucking listen to again because they're wrong about everything. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.